Did you catch that? One phone call was all it took for police to pull someone over. But here's where it gets tricky by law. An anonymous tip by itself usually isn't enough to justify a stop. Officers need independent evidence, something they personally see that confirms suspicious activity. Without that, the entire stop could be on shaky legal ground. So what do you think was this smart proactive policing, or a clear case of overreach? Share your thoughts below.
The officer arrived and he observed a car which matched the description that the caller
That would be like me calling and saying, hey, this guy did this over there. The cops go, no. I mean, theoretically, would be anyone could make a phone call, make an allegation, cops go, boom, and just stop, do whatever they want without. No. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Officers were dispatched to a Holiday Inn in Harris County, Texas in response to a disturbance. The caller reported that 2 white males left the property, one in an F-150 and one in a Mitsubishi. When the officer arrived, he observed a Mitsubishi which matched the description given in the parking lot, headed toward the nearby road. The officer initiated a traffic stop and made contact with the driver, the defendant. Officer asked the defendant if he was involved in a physical disturbance, and the defendant stated yes, that him and another individual got into a physical fight, and that he got into his car to separate himself and calm down. The defendant stated he was headed toward a gas station when he was stopped by the officer. While speaking to the defendant, the officer observed an odor of alcoholic beverage, glossy eyes, and slurred speech. The defendant admitted to drinking 2 beers, and standard field sobriety tests were conducted. A 6 out of 6 on the HGN, a 0 out of 8 on the walk and turn, a 0 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to a breath test. The results were a .103.
A breath test shows 0.13, well over Texas's legal limit back in 2008. Sounds like an open and shut DUI, right? But here's the twist. The field sobriety test was nearly flawless. So how do you make sense of that? Do breathalyzers always give the full picture, or does a strong performance on the physical tests raise doubt? Let's break it down in the next segment.
A .113.
Judge, I'm going to say no probable cause here because...
What's he doing wrong? He's like trying to get away from him. He's like doing the right thing. You know?
And probable cause doesn't exist. He's 0 for 6 on the walk and turn, 0 and 6 on the one-leg stand. There is no law in Texas that a person cannot drink. Just because he smelled alcohol does not mean the person is intoxicated.
Do we have anything that he's doing, you know? Tell me what led them to him?
Yes, sir. So what led to the investigation was a caller who reported the disturbance. The officer arrived and he observed a car which matched the description that the caller
That would be like me calling and saying, hey, this guy did this over there. The cops go, no. I mean, theoretically, would be anyone could make a phone call, make an allegation, cops go, boom, and just stop, do whatever they want without. No, no probable cause.
Whoa, be careful, man. There's a lot of haters out there, and that's not just casual advice. It's real fear rooted in the risk of false accusations. It's a powerful reminder of how fragile freedom can be when he collides with law enforcement. One phone call, one vehicle match, and suddenly your life hits pause. What would you do if someone falsely reported you ever had a brush with that kind of misunderstanding?
Man, there's a lot of haters out there. Don't let them get you, you know? Life's too short. Sorry? All right, good luck. My sole issue is protecting as many people as I can. That's what I want to do. I know, it may come at an inconvenience to you, but I like to follow the wishes of the complaining witnesses because I don't want them to live in fear. There's nothing worse than having to live in fear, having to walk on eggshells, and that's what we try to prevent here. And I know that you have your side of the story, and there's always 2 sides of the story, but the best recipe that I usually find is keeping people away from themselves. The problem is that may be a disadvantage of you because you may have nowhere else to go. But what other choice do I have? I don't know. right? Tell me, you were able to speak to her.
Yes, Your Honor, and I'll relay the message she gave me. So just a little bit of context, the defendant is her father, is what she says. She says she's had no contact with him since the incident, but she does say she's been getting updates from family about the defendant that she's not asking for. She said that she's getting married and planning on starting a family, and her heart's desire is to have her father in her life, but she said that he's proven that it cannot happen. She states that she is done with her relationship with the defendant. The defendant has not changed. She wants no contact. She's currently working on making her restraining order permanent. She states that the defendant is not trying to get help. She states that she wants anger management, Alcoholics Anonymous, and Narcotics Anonymous treatment.
So there's drug issues and alcohol issues.
According to the complaining witness, Your Honor, yes.
And here it is, the emotional heart of the case. The daughter wants no contact, pushing for a permanent restraining order, convinced her father hasn't changed. She's building a new life, planning a wedding, starting a family, yet her message is unwavering. Stay away. It's a powerful reminder of how addiction and repeated trauma can shatter even the most sacred bond between parent and child. Pause for a moment. Do you think reunification is ever truly possible in a situation like this?
So we know about the situation.
Stop. Don't say anything. Just don't.
And so we know about the situation where he needs some of the items he has at his place. She says that she has them placed in bags. She says that she's either told the family to handle giving the items to the defendant, or she is okay if the defendant comes with officers while she's not present.
So she obviously lives at that house?
Yes, Your Honor.
Who, is it grandfather's house? Whose house?
I'm not sure.
I mean,
I told it's grandpa's house, his father's house. But he'd actually moved in there to help out with his parents. Well, I told you he had strokes at both times.
yeah, but I can't, she's living there, you know, it's,
So I'm told that his daughter is a drug user, Judge, and that this happened late at night. In fact, even in the DIMS, it says that this alleged
I mean, I
assault.
can't really,
No, but it says the alleged assault happened at 2:30, but we didn't call the police until 4, I believe. And she mentions a long gun, but there was no guns found at the scene.
I don't know. I just don't want you to, she doesn't want to have contact with you. So don't have contact with her. Don't use any drugs, don't use alcohol, and making that a condition of your bond as well. You know? I don't know what to tell you, but she lives there, and if I allow you to go back to that house, it's a recipe for disaster. You know?
Judge, he does live with his parents and has nowhere else to stay right now. He's been living at the Star Hope shelter for a week. In fact, they arrested him in his underclothes, and he's wearing clothes given to him.
Well, I mean, like you said, he can go back and get the stuff. He's got to go with an officer, and at a time that she's not going to be there. I guess we could work that out.
His ID and cell phone, all that are at the house, and they can't get that.
She has it in bags ready to give to him. You know what? Also do this. Can you? Well, if you want to, we can roll this to tomorrow. But will you also reach out to, I guess, the homeowner and get their opinion? Are they okay with him coming back? Perhaps you can get their side as well, see what they say. So we get like a neutral and detached person to see, is this because he obviously wants to go back to the house? I mean, we know that she doesn't, but the problem is that if I let you go back to this house, you will invariably at one point or the other, you're going to run into her, and it's going to be disastrous because it always is, and then you're going to end up back in jail. You're out because we gave you a free bond right now. You need to understand that if you go back, you probably have no one in this world that's going to pony up $5,000 to $10,000 to get you out. You will be stuck like Chuck.
You'll be stuck like Chuck. The judge isn't holding back. This case boils down to boundaries, accountability, and consequences. Whether it's a domestic dispute or a DUI, judges walk a tightrope, protecting victims while still giving defendants a chance at redemption. So here's the million-dollar question. How do you balance compassion with caution in the courtroom? Stick around, tomorrow's hearing could flip everything upside down.
Consider these things when you're out there. I'm not asking much from you. I just don't want you to have contact with this person. And don't have any weapons and don't use. That's all I'm asking. You want to roll this tomorrow to see if there is perhaps a way that they could kind of separate and bifurcate the house, so to speak.
Is your father able to answer the call if the call will talk to him?
No.
Well, look, I don't want you guys to talk here. Let's do this. Let's roll it to tomorrow. See, do you mind reaching out? Is there a possible way to kind of divide the house in half or is there like a garage apartment or is there like a shed or something that he could stay at? I don't know, you know, but
That's how I've been with.
You're separate from her.
Yeah, I'm separate from all of them.
We can talk about, he's telling me that he's separate, living away from everybody, his own room, I guess.
I want to hear it from them too.
Sure.
I don't want to hear it just from you. I want to
Oh,
hear
absolutely.
that they feel protected. That's my
I
only
understand.
concern, you know?
I understand.
So we can, you know, come back tomorrow because it's already 1 o'clock, right?
What time tomorrow?
Same time, early, 8, 9 o'clock. So,
We'll be here tomorrow.
so guys, this is Mr. O'Neill. So no contact, no weapons, no going to the house for the time being. No drugs, no alcohol, random testing. Please. All right, Mr. O'Neill.
Testing.
No drugs, no alcohol, and I'm going to test you to make sure you're not using. If you test positive for drugs or alcohol, I'm going to put you in jail. Don't use. All right?
Man.
Okay. All right. Good luck, Mr. O'Neill.
Thank you, Judge. My excuse.
Thank you. You're good.